Still not happy
with the picks.
with the picks. I'd rather have them a little looser because they need to get them down. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our show.
Yes.
There. That's better.
Terry.
Hello, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
From the Periscope Musicians Group.
Yes.
Welcome, sir. That's a really fine idea.
Philippa's here. Hi,
Hello,
guys.
Philippa.
Jen is here. Hello.
Hello, Jenna.
And
Did you say Jenna or Jen?
Jenna Wilkes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Hi, Jenna.
And Terry says hi.
All right. Well, we've got some people with us. Good to see you, Philippa. Okay, well, I guess it's must be
It's 1:02.
about the top of the hour. Okay.
Just about.
Well,
We're a little bit past, actually. I was distracted trying to set things just exactly the way I want them, but I think they're good.
okay.
And Flip said signing in wasn't a PITA for a change.
That's good. Glad to hear it.
Yes.
Indeed. Hope Ginny's doing well with her new computer. We've made a lot of changes to our audio setup, and this is yet another new set of picks that I ordered from Amazon just before I went to the Mountain Laurel Autoharp gathering last year.
My microphone, that was good.
It happens.
Flip said she's just thrilled.
Oh, good. I'm glad she's getting along. Anyway, I got these hoping that they would help me in the contest, but they were so radically different from what I was used to that I decided not to try it. And I forgot about them because of all the stuff that happened. Kind of the same thing that happened with the other set of picks I had. So this is a lot of changes. We're actually using one microphone on the Autoharp and its pickup for the very first time. It has a built-in pickup. So we'll see how things go.
Pat is with us.
Hello, Pat. Top of the evening to you, sir.
Hi, George and your wife, and a big thumbs up.
Good to see you, sir.
Yes.
So this show is all about having a good time, and so we just entitled it Nothing Serious, and that's pretty much how it is.
And Ginny says hi.
Hi, Ginny. Good to see you. So we'll start out with a song by Homer and Jethro called No Matter Where You Go. The day I reached the age of 21, I told my folks my farming days were done. My ma and pa were sad as they could be. When I left, my pappy said to me, son, this old world ain't like it used to be. It's filled with trouble, hate, and misery. But just remember this and you'll go far. No matter where you go, there you are. Don't lead a horse to water, Paul would say. Who wants to smell a wet horse anyway? Don't drive when you're drinking alcohol, 'cause if you hit a bump, you'll spill it all. Don't cast your bread upon the water, Jack. You'll just have soggy bread when it gets back. And son, you must obey the golden rule. But most of all, my boy, don't blow your cool. Son, this old world we live in ain't so hard. But Sonny, it's the only one we got. And now I know he never lied to me. No matter where I went, there I'd be.
That was pretty. I got a few comments.
Okay.
Hang on. I have to go up just a bit.
Oh, good. That's encouraging.
Where Flip said, Ginny says hi, and then she said she brought her laptop down just in case. Just not sure what the case is. She didn't know what in case. And then Ivan is here.
Hello, Ivan.
He said, hi, George and Lynn. I'll be with you until 3:30 when I have to go play bridge.
Well, I'm glad you could drop in and
Yes.
And visit
Good to have
us. I will be joining you for the beginning of your show, and then I have a fundraising commitment that I've got to get involved with. Best to Nancy, and hope you all are doing well. And hey, if you want to hear some more really good Autoharp music, y'all, find Ivan Stiles, self-employed musician. There's a lot of Ivan Stiles tomorrow,
Especially for live. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You get more than just live there, because you get other shows.
Anyway, look for Ivan Stiles. You've seen his picture, so you know which of the several Ivan Stiles he is. Starts at the same time tomorrow as this does today, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. And this is... he's done this for like 3 years straight and hasn't missed. How many is it, Ivan? 155 this time? I've lost track. But he's never missed a beat. So if you want to hear some good old time folk music and some funny stuff too, and some great people that join Ivan, catch his show tomorrow afternoon.
And I've got Terry said, "Oh goodness, smelling a wet horse."
Yes, indeed.
And Philippa said, "There are worse things to smell than a wet horse." And Terry said, "Beautiful playing."
Thank you.
And Stan Johnson is here. Hi,
Hello,
George
Stan
Lynn.
and Sandy.
And Sandy. And Ivan says, "Thanks for the plug. Sunday will be my 154th consecutive
54th, okay.
weekly concert." And Ginny Lee said, "Just in case was so I can write my own comments."
Okay. Well, I'm glad everything's working for you.
Yeah.
Let us see where we are here. Okay. This is a song that I learned from Drew Smith on a song circle that we all go to on Saturday nights. And it's called The Cougalsville National Bank. It was written by Lil Appel and performed by Lou Mitchell recorded it in 1956. There's a little old lady who lives up the street. Her house is so tiny, her house is so neat. No one could imagine, however they'd try, what this little old lady was doing on the sly. She's someone's grandmother with hair snowy white. The FBI's hot on her trail tonight. She's down in Brazil with the janitor Hank and the loot from the Kugelsville National Bank. Now the Kugelsville Bank had an audit today, and I'm here to tell you there's all hell to pay. She filched all the money in tiny amounts from out of 100 dormant accounts. She's someone's grandmother with hair snowy white. The FBI's hot on her trail tonight. She's down in Brazil with the janitor Hank and the loot from the Kugelsville National Bank. The children all loved her and grown-ups would buy for a piece of her old-fashioned blueberry pie. No one suspected, not even Hank. She was juggling the books at the Kugelsville Bank. She's someone's grandmother with hair snowy white. The FBI's hot on her trail tonight. She's down in Brazil with the janitor Hank and the loot from the Kugelsville National Bank. Now she works 20 years without a vacation. The president said that's real dedication. But on this subject she remained rather mute. She simply smiled sweetly and piled up the loot. She's someone's grandmother with hair snowy white. The FBI's hot on her trail tonight. She's down in Brazil with the janitor Hank and the loot from the Kugelsville National Bank. Now she gave to the church and no thoughts were higher. A voice like an angel was hers from the choir. From her picture window there glows no more light. She's dining in Rio de Janeiro tonight. She's someone's grandmother with hair snowy white. The FBI's hot on her trail tonight. She's down in Brazil with the janitor Hank and the loot from the Kugelsville National Bank. I love that song.
Jenny said, I love my computer with several exclamation points.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
And Flip said, good song, referring to this, the one you, and I can't say the person's name.
Kugelsville Bank?
The Kugelsville.
Yeah,
yes.
the Kugelsville
Yes.
National Bank.
And Terry said to Flip, gave her notes and heart and flower and a smile face. And Jenny said, thank you to you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right, this song has lots of different versions.
Flip said, good song, kind of sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
It just got added on, had to read it.
Don't know who wrote this song. It was recorded by the Chad Mitchell Trio back in the 60s. It's called My Name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. Well, my name is Willie Morgan, and I'm a hard enough working man. The motto of my whole life has been be as thrifty as you can. I never use a FedEx envelope when a first-class stamp will do. And if you ask me for $1 or $2, well, here's what I say to you. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. Ain't got no banks in this world that are named for me. My money's in my pocket and in AT&T. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. I went down to the grocery store just to pick up an item or two. I had no need for a grocery cart, just a little paper bag would do. I had to wait for an hour or more just to get a chance to pay. The man added up a figure and he held it in his hand, and I nearly fainted away. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. Ain't got no banks in this world that are named for me. My money's in my pocket and in AT&T. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. I took my gal to a Broadway show that the whole town wanted to see. The taxi cost me $17. It didn't mean a thing to me. I stepped up to that ticket booth and I laid my money down. Well, he said these seats are $100 each. You could hear me all over this town. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. Ain't got no banks in this world that are named for me. My money's in my pocket and in AT&T. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. I went walking down Bleecker Street with my lady friend, her name was Sue. Keeping her out of them fancy shops was about all that I could do. She squealed with joy at a marvelous toy in the window of an antique shop. When the little old lady quoted a price, I thought my heart would stop. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. Ain't got no banks in this world that are named for me. My money's in my pocket and in AT&T. My name is Morgan, but it ain't JP. I said it's Morgan, but it ain't JP.
Right.
Remember that.
That's right.
This is a little racy. Don't know who wrote it, but it was performed by a group called the Four Bitchin' Babes, and it's called Viagra in the Water. Just outside of Johnson City, on a dark and twisting road, in a Kenworth 18-wheeler with a heavy shifting load. He was pushing through to Binghamton, though the hour was getting late. Pfizer's finest on a mission to the pharmacies upstate. He was on a holy mission, there were men who couldn't wait for his 30,000 pounds of Viagra. He clocked 700 miles since he climbed into the rig. Just another 25 or so would finish up that gig. But the trailer hit an oil slick and down the hill did fly. Oh my, till it landed at the bottom in the town's water supply. It was instant rigor mortis, what a hard way to die. Save your sons, shield your daughters, there's Viagra in the water. All over Johnson City, people rising with the dawn. They drank their morning coffee, took their showers, watered lawns. And who could have predicted all the changes up ahead? Men were getting up for work and heading back to bed. So many called in sick, you would have thought a virus spread. Down at the courthouse coffee shop, some stared in disbelief as a pack of thirsty lawyers started filling out their briefs. But at the local college, the young men appeared much smarter. No chromosomal mystery, they simply studied harder. Now water on the rocks is the latest party starter. Save your sons, shield your daughters, there's Viagra in the water. The Johnson City firefighters cursed their wretched luck. They could not get their fire hoses wound back on the truck. Sprinkling holy water at a funeral, Father Ryan said, I know I've saved their souls, but I have never raised the dead. Will a couple of strong men help me now to close the casket lid? Old man Weisberg took the shower of his life. Then he marched into the kitchen and he called out to his wife. She knew something was up as he stood naked at the table, holding 2 cups of coffee and a half a dozen bagels. It had been at least a decade since the last time he was able. Save your sons, shield your daughters, there's Viagra in the water. Believers seeking miracles, pilgrims came in hordes. The waters of Viagra grew more popular than Lourdes. The clergy quoted scripture, but they found it hard to sell that those who chose to be anointed were pointed straight to hell. Despite the dire warnings, the crowds began to swell. Some hardened politicians came into town one day. With their permits and their pipelines, pumped the waters all away. From the heart of Johnson City rose the mournful cry of men. But the women knew another truck was coming through again. Don't worry, there's a truck next week. We'll spread the oil again. Save your sons, shield your daughters, there's Viagra in the water. Save your sons, shield your daughters, there's Viagra in the water.
Terry said, well, yeah, a quick step into Viagra.
There you go.
3 crying, laughing faces. And then she said, I'm giggling. And then, let's see. What an uplifting song, she said.
Yes.
And
Just raises all your hopes.
yes. Ivan put a huge laughing face.
Thank you,
Terry
Ivan.
said, "Love it, George." And then, "I'm thirsty." And Flip said, "Good song." It is funny.
All right. Here is a song that was written and recorded by Milo Hatzenbriller. And no wonder he wrote funny songs with a name like that. Nobody'd take him seriously anyway. Wonder what a Hatzenbriller is.
I don't know. It's quite the moniker.
Yeah, it certainly is. This is a parody of the Ballad of the Green Berets. And it is called The Ballad of the Big Buffet. I saw the sign out on the street, $5.99, all you can eat. Now it's my favorite place to stay, and it's called the Big Buffet. Beef and beans, cheesecake and stew, a salad bar, and wet cheese too. There's fish and pie, and ham and fork. I wish that I had a bigger fork. Put chicken wings upon my plate. The food they serve is really great. You'll find me here most every day. I am one with the Big Buffet. I got my plate filled up just fine, but I'm just halfway through the line. I need room to put some more. I need a plate with the second floor. Put chicken wings upon my plate. My chores at home will have to wait. I'm like a cow knee deep in hay. I'll chew my cud at the Big Buffet. At the table my wife waits, surrounded by my empty plates. She brought an Afghan to crochet because she knows we'll be here all day. No chicken wing upon my plate. I guess that I had met my fate. I'll have to eat at home today, for I've been banned from the Big Buffet. They kicked me out of the Big Buffet. Too much of a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's a song that was written by John Sebastian, who also plays the Autoharp, by the way. And it was recorded in 1966 by the Lovin' Spoonful, and it's called Jug Band Music.
Bob Hale is here, by the way.
Hello, Bob.
Hello,
And
George
Bryn, I hope.
We
Good
are
to see you.
watching, had some trouble connecting. Well, I'm glad that got
well, I'm
fixed.
glad you fixed that.
Yes.
Indeed. So here we are, Jug Band Music. I was down in Savannah cross-eyed, I thought I was lost. I'd begun to see things as they ain't. As the relatives gathered to see what's the matter, the doctor came to see was I dying. But the doctor said, give him jug band music, it seems to make him feel just fine. I was told a little tale about a skinny as a rail 8-foot cowboy with a headache. He was hung up in the desert swatting rats and trying to get a drink of water with his knees and getting mud caked. And I'll tell you in a sentence how he stumbled into Memphis, Tennessee, hardly crawling, looking dust-baked. We gave him a little water, a little bit of wine. He opened up his eyes, but they didn't seem to shine. And the doctor said, give him jug band music, it seems to make him feel just fine. So if you ever get sickly, get sick, sister, run quickly to your dusty closet shelf and pull out a washboard and play a guitar chord and do a little duet yourself. Call on your neighbors to put down their labors and come and play the hardware in time. 'Cause the doctor said, give him jug band music, it seems to make him feel just fine. I was floating in the ocean, greased with suntan lotion, when I got wiped out by a beach boy. He was surfing when he hit me, but jumped off his board to get me, and he dragged me by the armpit like a child's toy. As we staggered into land with all the waiters eating sandwiches and trying to mooch a towel from the hoi polloi, he emptied out his eardrums, I emptied out mine, and everybody knows that the very last line is the doctor said, give him jug band music, it seems to make him feel just fine. And the doctor said, give him jug band music, it seems to make him feel just fine.
Yeah.
Weird song.
I know, but it's catchy. It just is.
Okay. Let us see what's next. This is a song.
This Mike and I are getting along on this side as well.
Well,
It's all right. I can manage.
yeah, it really does sound better, though, because when you look away from it.
Not so great when I whop at one.
Well,
Because I don't remember.
I know. You'll get it. We're not professionals, you know.
No.
We never claimed to be. We're just here to have a good time.
That's right. That I can do.
This was this is a song that was done by a group, one-hit wonders called the Capitals, and it's called A Little Ground in Texas. She was young and she was pretty, and she grew up poor and wanting better things. She was wild and she was willing, and she knew the things a woman's touch could bring. He was old and lonely, she pretended that she cared. In his eagerness to please her, he spent every dime he'd ever received on her. And he said, you can own a little ground. And he said, I still own a little ground in Texas. I expect to leave somebody later on. I still own a little ground in Texas. My daddy left me out near San Antone. When she found he had no money, she said, honey, that's as far as our love goes. And in time it finally killed him, for he willed himself to die, he loved her so. A couple of acres more or less meant nothing to the girl. He loved her so he'd offer everything he'd ever owned in the world. And he said, you can own a little ground in Texas if you'll just stay around until I'm gone. You can own a little ground in Texas. I think it's somewhere out near San Antonio. It was just a few years later. She was broke and working in a third-rate bar. She was overweight and 30. Yes, her beauty hadn't gotten her that far. Through her tears she reads the paper, how the old man had passed on. And he left the state 2 acres, situated in the heart of San Antone. Now she said, I could have owned a little ground in Texas if I hadn't left the one true love I'd known. I could have owned a little ground in Texas, a little ground in downtown San Antone. Now she said, I could have owned a little ground in Texas if I hadn't left the one true love I'd known. I could have owned a little ground in Texas, a little ground in downtown San Antone.
My goodness.
Screwed that up, didn't she?
Robert C. Richmond is with us.
Hello, Robert.
It's always such a pleasure when the two of you bring the music into my Saturday. Thank you both.
Well, thank you for coming.
So good to have you.
Indeed.
And Lara Hardin.
Hello, Laura.
And she said, sorry, I am late, was doing rock mostly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wish I could do that, but I just can't. I can't do the whole thing, and so I would almost have to be asked to put to the front of the line because I've got a lot of setup to do here and all, but I love that thing. I get there on the third Saturday of every month, and it's a great group, that's for sure.
Philippa said, I figured the ground in Texas was oil ground. Smiley face.
Well, there might be oil in downtown San Antonio. We just never know.
Yeah, you never know.
By the way, we're still trying to put together a request show. If you have a song that I've played in the past that you really like, that you haven't heard lately, or you have a song that you'd like me to attempt, leave a comment and let us know what it is. We're trying to get enough songs together to do a whole show. We're about 2/3, 3/4 of the way there, but we still need a few more requests. Something you might want to hear, like Cows with Guns, or
Oh, goodness, yes.
you know,
I like that one.
I'm a Were-Cow, or Tales of the Phantom Ship, or something. Anyway, if you can think of something that, like say you haven't heard for a little while, we really do want to put together a request show, but we're not gonna run it at all until we get a whole
Philippa just gave us one.
show full of requests.
Moonwolf's Old Saxon. Saxon, S-A-X-O-N.
Okay. Is that the one about the old baron who's trying to teach his son how to how to rule the land that they stole from the Saxons, or from the Celts? I think I know what you're talking about there, but
Yes.
Okay.
She said yes, in a word.
I haven't tried to play that.
Sounds intriguing.
It's an interesting song, but from the Saxons' point of view.
Yes, Moonwolf is his SCA name.
Yeah. I have a recording of it that I found that you steered me to when you turned me on to Leslie Fish and the Band from Argo song. Let's see here. Here's a song. I'm sorry Hillary isn't here right now. She loves this. It's called...
I know what that is then. I'll bet I know.
It's called A Proper Cup of Coffee.
There you go.
Written by Bert Lee and R.P. Weston. Recorded by all kinds of people. This is part of the sing-along part of our program. You know how that used to go back in the old days where, you got a chorus and the whole audience learns the chorus and then they sing with it, every time after. So, you see, if you learn the chorus, sing along with us.
Yes.
The Sultan sat on an oriental mat in his harem in downtown Persia. He took a sip of coffee, just a drip, and he said to his servant, Kirsha, 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 Kirsha. Oh, that's the worst cup of coffee in Persia. 'Cause... Right, here's your part now. This is real easy. Just you'll catch right on. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. Got it? Yeah, join right in. In days of old when knights and men were bold and whiskey was much cheaper, then Turpin rode to a coffee shop and showed his pistols to the keeper. And he said, stand and deliver, can't you see I'm all a quiver? 'Cause, alright guys, all I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. All right. Bonaparte found that he was in a cart when he lost that Waterloo fight. He gave his sword to Wellington, my lord, and he said, you British can't have fight. Now you've had your Waterloo, sir. Tell me, what am I having with you, sir? 'Cause, big effort now. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. King Solomon and his queen would carry on, so we've heard in the ancient scandals. He gave her lots of silver coffee pots with diamond legs and handles, and said the Queen of Sheba, I'd rather have any old tea bag, 'cause, last chance, all I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper copper pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper cup of pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a proper coffee in a proper cup of pot. Iron coffee pots and tin coffee pots, they are no use to me. If I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot, I'll have a cup of tea.
Yes. Beautiful.
Thanks for your participation, folks.
It's
It's always good to hear you singing along.
Oh, yes. And Amber said, love proper cup of coffee.
Thanks, Amber. Glad you could drop in.
Yes.
And Amber's in charge this week where she works because her boss is on vacation. And
Amber says, Jenna says, slay.
yeah, Jenna has just become a businesswoman. She's opened a business. She makes custom bookmarks.
Oh, yeah. That's so neat.
Tell them where to find them, Jenna. Put a comment up there.
Yeah.
And tell them where to go. Just tell them where to go. That's what to check them out.
Mike Mueller is here.
Hello, Mike.
He said hello and great set, George and Lynn.
Well, thank you, Mike. The director and founder and head honcho of the California Autoharp Gathering.
Yes. Jenna's Crafty Cove, Amber put.
Okay. Yeah.
And thanks for the shout out, she said. Amber did. Well, these are neat. They really are.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You had to check them out.
If you're on the West Coast or whatever, and you want to have a real good time, catch the next California Auto Harp Gathering. It's a great time, very informal. Staff and participants mix together and jam together, and it's just a great time. And I believe it's coming up here shortly. What is it, Mike? The last weekend in May or the weekend before? Let us know. And by all means, if you can possibly get out there, you'll be glad you did. Here's a song that I know the authors for, but not the title. We'll have to fix that. Oh, okay.
Mike said May 16th through 21st.
Oh, 16th through 21st.
Yeah.
Man, if I'd have known it was going to be that early, I'd have tried to get out there. I thought it was the next week, and I couldn't deal with doing that and then turning right around and going to MLAG. Oh, well. I shall definitely try to get out there again, because it's a good time. Here's a song that was written by Billy Rose, Ernest Brewer, and Marty Bloom, and was done by a number of people, including Lonnie Donegan. And it's called Does Your Chewing Gum Lose Its Flavor on the Bedpost Overnight? Oh me, oh my, oh you, whatever shall I do? Hallelujah, the question is peculiar. I'd give a lot of dough if only I could know the answer to my question. Is it yes or is it no? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? If your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? Can you catch it on your tonsils? Can you heave it left and right? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Here comes a blushing bride, the groom is by her side. Up to the altar, just as steady as Gibraltar, the groom has got the ring, and it's such a pretty thing. But as he slips it on her finger, the choir begins to sing. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? If your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? Can you catch it on your tonsils? Can you heave it left and right? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Now the nation rises one to send their wanted son up to the White House, yes, the nation's only White House, to voice their discontent unto the president. The bonnie burning question, what has swept this continent? If tin whistles are made of tin, what do they make foghorns out of? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? If your mother says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? Can you catch it on your tonsils? Can you heave it left and right? Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? On the bedpost overnight. Hallelujah, there I love you, and the one who holds you tight. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. On the bedpost overnight. A dollar is a dollar and a dime is a dime. I'd sing another chorus, but I haven't got the time. On the bedpost overnight. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I read that Mike said May 16th,
Yeah.
2021. Then Zeke came on.
Hello, Ziggy.
Hey, Zeke. And said, hi, George and Lynn. Greetings again from Germany with a smile face. Sorry for being late. We'll watch and listen to the missed part afterwards from the recording.
Oh, that'll be just fine, Ziggy.
Well, we're glad you're here.
We're glad you made it.
And then Mike said, George, CAG 24.
Yeah.
And then Flip said, I remember the chorus as a kid in my summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or in summer camp, not my summer camp.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that word. Sorry.
Yeah, I like
As a kid in summer
in
camp.
summer camp.
Yeah.
We didn't sing that one. We did sing The Wonderful Sausage Machine, though.
We sang We're Here Because We're
Here.
Here. We didn't get good songs. Because that one's kind of...
There was another one we did of three little angels all dressed in white tried to get to heaven on the end of a kite and on down and
That sounds good.
yeah,
Like a good
a
one.
rusty old halo, a skinny white crown, an old pair of wings full of patches. A rusty old halo, a skinny white crown, a robe that's so woolly it scratches. Anyway,
My.
little irreverence from my youth
I
there.
was going to say, the things you remember. Jerry Burgess Jr.
Hey, Jerry, good to see you.
I'm late, but sounds great as always, my friends. So good to have you.
It's great to have you with us.
And Flip said, I remember the Angels one.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
And I don't know whether she meant to do that, but she's got the colon with the O after it, which looks like a scary face. Sometimes I do that by accident, but in that case, it might be appropriate.
You never know. This song was written and recorded by Dick Feller, who has a very odd way of looking at things. He also wrote the song about Uncle Hiram and the homemade beer.
He did.
Yeah, and the night Miss Nancy Ann's hotel for single girls burnt down, which is a lot like the Ballad of Jake McCluskey. We haven't done that one for a while. We ought to do that one of these days. Anyhow, this is called Angel Wings. Driving down the highway one fine day, foot a little heavy on the gas. Paid no mind to the yellow line when I pulled out to pass. Then when I got to the top of the hill, well, Lordy, what did I see? Was a trailer truck with a semi-driver heading right straight for me. And I thought I heard that flutter of angel wings coming for to carry me home. Thought I heard the sound of heavenly strings coming for to sing me home. Lord, you are a friend of mine. Don't cut me down while I'm in my prime. I'd rather take my own sweet time for the flutter of the angel wing. Down at the pool hall, we're laying up an 8-ball with some friends of mine. When mine. This torpedo in from Toledo said, you want to shoot a game of 9? Well, I caught him trying to move the cue, and I said, you could get hurt. Then he whipped out a razor and he cut off my tie and 2 buttons off of my shirt. And I thought I heard the flutter of angel wings coming for to carry me home. Thought I heard the sound of heavenly strings coming for to sing me home. Lord, you are a friend of mine. Don't cut me down while I'm in my prime. I'd rather wait for another time for the flutter of the angel wing. Well, you just can't beat that old Grim Reaper, but I'd sure like to try. But those I know that left this world, not one got out alive. I'd like to pass through the pearly gates, but I am just a little bit shy. Yes, I sure do want to see heaven, but I sure as hell don't want to die. 'Cause I know there's a flutter of angel wings coming for to carry me home. Don't need the sound of the heavenly strings coming for to sing me home. Lord, you're still a good friend of mine. Don't cut me down while I'm in my prime. I'd rather take my own sweet time for the flutter of the angel wings, for the flutter of the angel wings, till the roll is called up yonder. I'd rather just wait right here.
Flip said, with 60s, and our guys used to play a lot of the quote-unquote peace, etc. songs.
Yeah. I think somebody should request things like the Tom Paxton song, I Got a Letter from LBJ.
Oh, yeah. Some of the protest songs.
Yeah, as long as there's no bad language.
Right.
Okay. I'm not interested in bad language on the show at all. You know, Viagra in the Water's probably about as risque.
Yeah.
That and Ain't It a Beauty? You know, that's about as bawdy as we're gonna get. Okay, because
Flip said she hasn't heard Paxton's song. Haven't heard Paxton's song.
What's it called?
The one about LBJ.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put it on the list maybe.
Okay.
If I can find the title. It starts out, I got a letter from LBJ. It said, this is your lucky day. It's time to put your khaki trousers on. Heck, we could probably do a whole show of protest songs. That might be fun sometime.
Could be.
I go back.
Interesting philosophies there.
Yeah.
Some.
Well, I go back and listen, and then I write all this down, see, to get everybody's input. Here's a song that was recorded by a group that just exuded bubblegum. You know, they did things like, yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and stuff that made real rockers just go, no, stop. But they did manage to record one song that I actually like. It's called the group is called the Ohio Express, and the song is called Cowboy Convention. Hope I can remember how to play it here. I was riding the prairie and out of the blue I could see there were 24 Indians starting to close up on me. There was no place I could run, and I never carry a gun, so I cried for help. And along came Hop-Along Cassidy, Maverick and Billy the Kid. I'd have been lost if they hadn't shown up as they did. There was Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, Buffalo Bill, Jesse James, and 300 cavalry, but I can't remember their names. I was safe in my cabin and thinking of going to bed when an Indian tomahawk stuck in the wall by my head. I looked through the window and saw there were 3,000 Indians or more, so I cried for help. And along came Hopalong Cassidy, Maverick and Billy the Kid. I'd have been lost if they hadn't shown up as they did. There was Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, Buffalo Bill, Jesse James, and 300 cavalry, but I can't remember their names. But one day I was caught and was taken to see Running Bear. But we got on so well that he told me that I could stay there. And according to Indian law, I could have me a choice of a squaw. I needed no help. And along came Hopalong Cassidy, Maverick and Billy the Kid. I'd have been fine if they hadn't shown up as they did. There was Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, Buffalo Bill, Jesse James, and 300 cavalry, but I can't remember their names.
On the other flip said, oh yeah, would be great about the protest songs.
Yeah.
Do a show, yes.
Have to do that.
Didn't get to read that before you were.
The next show, for the first time since I've been doing this, I'm going to try to put together a St. Patrick's Day celebration. That'll be on the 11th of March. I'm going to get me a leprechaun hat and
Green
so
thing.
If anybody can think of songs to do for that, let us know.
There's a lot of Irish songs.
Oh, and there are a lot of really funny Irish songs too, and I'm really going to have to put a lot of time in the musical woodshed on this one because a lot of them are going to be songs I haven't played before. And
Jenny said awesome.
thank you. Glad you liked it. And then hopefully we'll have enough requests to do the request show next. And then the shows will probably start to get to be songs that you've heard a lot because I have to spend time working on workshops and concerts for MLAG. And I have to have all those lyrics memorized. I can't use my aids because I'm going to drag all kind of equipment along with me and all to get my lyrics. But anyway, next show will be St. Patrick's Day, and then we'll go from there.
I think that's what Jenny meant about awesome. It's going to be St. Patrick. You're going to do St. Patrick's.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do next. Speaking of things we're going to do next, I should have had something else to drink. Anyway. This song was written by a parody artist, although this is not a parody, but his name's Cletus T. Judd, and he writes parodies, kind of like Homer and Jethro do, and people like that. This one is called First Redneck on the Internet. It was done by Cletus T. and Buck Owens. Well, Lord have mercy, I was in a mess. My wife run off with my TV set. Didn't bother me none that she had to go, except I was gonna miss all my TV show. So I looked up to heaven, got down on my knees, and I cried, Dear Lord, will you help me, please? I need a TV by tomorrow night, 'cause Ric Flair's involved in a talent fight. Well, I guess my tithing must have paid off, 'cause very the next day should have seen what I saw. Reached in my pocket for my inhaler, 'cause there's a big brown box in front of my trailer. I used my truck keys to cut open the box. I was hoping for a Sony or a Magnavox. I looked at the name and said, oh my gosh, this must be a new one called a Macintosh. Well, my last TV was a whole sight wider, but this one here come with its own typewriter. It had all the letters from A to Z. I guess you just type in what you want to say. Well, I thought I'd punched up WWF, but that TV screen said World Wide Web. Then I broke out in a cold, cold sweat. I was the first redneck on the internet. He was the first redneck on the internet. A bona fide, countrified cyber threat. He went online just one time, and now they'll never forget, won't forget, the first redneck on the internet. It was all so new I should have taken my time, but I slammed that mouse up in four-wheel drive. Last time I did so much pointing and clicking, I had a .22 rifle shooting at chickens. Then all of a sudden it occurred to me the power I had with this fancy TV. I could get back at my ex-wife. With the touch of a button, I could ruin her life. So I got the number off her MasterCard, bought a new lift kit and 4 new tires. Then I got online to her bank account and went ahead and closed that sucker out. I had her power and her water shut slap off, and then I sent an email to her dad, Blaine Boss, letting him know that she told me she'd have his job by the end of the week. He was the first redneck on the internet, a bona fide, countrified cyber threat. He went online just one time, and now they'll never forget, won't forget, the first redneck on the internet. Now the moral of the story, as a matter of fact, in a couple of days I got my TV back. She said she'd like to come back as well. I told her to go straight to AOA. Now I thank the Lord and the UPS for dropping that box at my address. If you ever want to find me, it won't take long. Just type www.redneck.com. To reach the first redneck on the internet, a bona fide, countrified cyber threat. He went online just one time, and now they'll never forget, won't forget, the first redneck on the internet. He was the first redneck on the internet. The first redneck on the internet. World Wide Web. Population 4 zillion. Salute!
Oh my. Robert said, may not have heard this in 30 years from the really early World Wide Web. Love your treatment.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Goodness, yeah.
So, let's see here. Well, since we're already in Hooterville, let's do one written and recorded by Tim Wilson. It's called Church League Softball Fist Fight. Church League Softball Fist Fight, getting washed in the blood on a Tuesday night. What would Jesus do Lord, he wouldn't do that. Knock hell out of the preacher with a softball bat. Well, the swinging shepherds from the sheep of the Savior were tied with the Sourwood Church of Christ, an example of some highly unholy behavior in a game that had already been protested twice. Something unbiblical must have been said for them to be aiming heat at the minister's head. Clocking the clergy ain't the thing to do, but neither's the high hard one on a 0-2. Church league softball fist fight, a bloody laying off on of hands neath the left field lights, knocking out 4 teeth, getting a busted lip. Ain't exactly my idea of Christian fellowship. Church league softball fist fight, rolling round the pitcher's mound, it just don't look right for the nice people of the church and the Sunday school class to trade a cup of brotherhood for a can of whoop ass. To trade a cup of brotherhood for a can of whoop ass.
Goodness. Flip said, the fish cheer and I feel like I'm fixing to die.
Okay.
So there's request, I believe.
All right. I'll look at those. And I am going to kind of segregate the protest ones because I'm getting real excited about that. That could be
really
a
cool.
lot of fun. Let's just play a little John Prine. What the heck?
There you go. I'm all in there.
This is called.
I love Prime.
This is called The Accidents. Last night I saw an accident on the corner of 3rd and Green. 2 cars collided and I got excited just being part of that scene. Mrs. Tom Walker and her beautiful daughter Pamela was driving the car. They were hit by a man in a light blue sedan who'd obviously been to a bar. And they don't know how lucky they are. They could have ran into that tree, been struck by a bolt of lightning and raped by a minority. It was a 4-way stop dilemma. We all arrived the same time. I yielded to the man to the right of me, and he yielded right back to mine. Well, the yield went around and around and around till Pamela finally cried. And that's when the man in the light blue sedan hit Pamela's passenger side. And they don't know how lucky they are. They could have ran into that tree, been struck by a bolt of lightning and raped by a minority. Pamela hit her head on the mirror. Mrs. Walker got a bump on the knee. The man hit himself in the face and said, "Why does this happen to me?" Then the neighbors came out and they gathered about, yelling, "Hey, who hit who anyway?" And the police arrived at 4:45 and pronounced all the victims okay. And they don't know how lucky they are. They could have ran into that tree, got struck by a bolt of lightning and raped by a minority.
Ah, yes. Flip said, I think she's referring to the
Yeah.
song. She said, fairly easy to play, I think.
Okay.
Good to
We'll
know.
certainly check that out. This next song is traditional. We're going to do a bit of bluegrass here. It's been done by all kinds of bluegrass groups. It's called Rabbit in a Log. Rabbit in a log and ain't got no dog. How will I get him? I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist in his hair. That's how I'll get him. I know. I know. I know. Really I know. That's how I'll get him. I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist in his hair. That's how I'll get him. I know. Build me a fire and I'll roast that old hare. Roll him in the flames nice and brown. Feasting tonight while the moon shines so bright. I got no place to lie down. To lie down, to lie down, place to lie down. I got no place to lie down. Feasting tonight while the moon shines so bright. I got no place to lie down. Walking down the track with chicken on my back, soles on my shoes nearly gone. Little ways ahead there's an old farmer's shed. That's where I'll rest my weary bones. Weary bones, weary bones, laid to gone. That's where I'll rest my weary bones. Little ways ahead there's an old farmer's shed. That's where I'll rest my weary bones. Rabbit in a log and ain't got no dog. How will I get him? I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist in his hair. That's how I'll get him. I know. I know. I know. Really I know. That's how I'll get him. I know. Get me a briar and I'll twist in his hair. That's how I'll get him. I know.
Ivan says, "Yeehaw!" And Flip said, "Reminds me of an afternoon at Policyholders. They had a groundhog that got into a pipe under the road with dogs at both ends."
Oh, groundhog's in trouble.
Yes.
Ivan does a song called Groundhog. I think it only has like 2 chords. It's a real good song.
That was a good song. Wow.
These picks.
But I love bluegrass.
Yeah, I do too.
What are you saying about the picks?
I thought I had found the ultimate picks with the Kling Pro, and they're good. But these are even better. I will find out what they are because I forgot. I was looking through. This all started because I dragged out the Oscar Schmidt that I played at MLAG last year, and I looked in the zipper compartment and I found the Kling Pro picks. I said, wow, I forgot about those. So I played with them for a couple of weeks, and then I thought, well, I'm going to look through all my other old picks, and I found these that I had bought just before MLAG, and actually I found.
They say on them anything.
I don't know that they do.
I can't read them from here.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We
No,
can.
I don't
I'll
want
let
to-
you know what they're called next time.
Yeah.
But they're they don't stick out as much around my fingers, which gives me more room to play up high here. And they don't slip. The Kling Pro, when I bend this first knuckle, it causes them to slide forward, and I don't want real long picks for what I do. Anyway, enough of that.
It's interesting, though.
What time is it, by the way?
I have 2:20.
Oh, okay. We may finish a bit early today, unless something happens. Okay. Here's a Ray Stevens tune. Hard for me to get through a concert without at least one of these. It was written by C.W. Kalb, who wrote a lot of Ray's stuff. And Ray Stevens recorded it, and it's called The Day That Clancy Drowned. In the town of old Milwaukee, back in 1982, he celebrated 40 years of making that famous brew. The master of the taster's art, Milwaukee's #1. And he could fairly feel the flavor as it swished across his tongue. Over time and weekends, old Clancy never shirked. They said it was amazing how much Clancy loved his work. But one scorching afternoon as he made his final round, he fell into the 60,000-gallon vat and drowned. Oh, the day that Clancy drowned. He could have called for help, but Lord, he never made a sound. We all tried to rescue him, but we didn't have no luck, 'cause he dived to the bottom and we couldn't pull him up. It was a solemn occasion as his buddies gathered round. They had to make arrangements for to put him in the ground. And when they took the dear departed over to the funeral place. When they took the dear departed over to the funeral place, it took them 7 hours to get that big smile off his face. Brother Daniels preached the funeral, and he had some words to say about the life of Brother Clancy, oh yes, and how he passed away. Could it not have been avoided, said he, that he met this tragic end? Well, preacher, he got out 3 times to go to the bathroom, but he always jumped back in. Oh, the day that Clancy drowned. He was blowing pearly bubbles and swimming all around, a gurgling and a giggling and wearing that silly grin. But he fought us like a flounder when we tried to haul him in. Oh, the day that Clancy drowned. He was blowing pearly bubbles, yeah, and swimming all around, a giggling and a gurgling and a wearing that silly grin. But he fought us like a flounder when we tried to haul him in. Oh, the day that Clancy drowned.
Yeah. Flip shared a link to It says cmuse.org, famous ragtime piano music. 8 famous ragtime piano music songs.
There are people who play ragtime on the Autoharp, but I think most of it is played on diatonics.
Oh,
Those are Autoharps that where the strings, instead of being chromatic, are tuned to a scale, or sometimes 2 scales, and they double up the strings, so you get the ability to play very complicated things on them, but you're limited to just whatever key they're in. I have one of those, but that I won at MLAG, but it's set up for jazz and blues and stuff, unfortunately, and I don't play it much. But I'm going to contact the builder and see if he'll set it up like Ivan's GD diatonic.
Flip was saying that she thinks you might enjoy listening.
Oh, I would.
Rather than...
Okay, yeah.
That's what it is.
All right, sounds good. Here's a song, was written by Harry Osborne and was recorded by Billy Ed Wheeler and Bobby Bear and pardon me a second.
Deborah Lynn Brace McGinnis is with us.
Hello, Debbie. Good to see you.
And a high face and an avatar. Really, that's very cute. Little person there that you've got.
Hope things are going well for you.
Yes.
And your little ones, little grandkids. Anyway, this song is called Ode to the Little Shack Out Back. How does it start? They passed an ordinance in the town. They said we'd have to tear it down. That little old shack out back so dear to me. Though the health department said its day was over and dead, it will stand forever in my memory. Don't let 'em tear that little brown building down. Don't let 'em tear that precious building down. Don't let 'em tear that dear old building down. There is not another like it in the country or the town. It was not so long ago that I went tripping through the snow out to that house behind my old hound dog, where I'd sit me down to rest like a snowbird on his nest, and I'd read that Sears and Roebuck catalog. Oh, I would hum my happy tune, peeping through the quarter moon, as my daddy's kin had done so much before. It was in that quiet spot daily cares could be forgot, and it gave the same relief to rich and poor. Don't let 'em tear that little brown building down. Don't let 'em tear that precious building down. Don't let 'em tear that dear old building down. For there's not another like it in the country or the town. Now it was not a castle fair, but I could dream of future there. Build my castle to the yellow jacket's drone. I could orbit around the sun, fight with General Washington, or be a king upon a golden throne. It wasn't fancy built at all. We had newspapers on the wall. It was air conditioned in the winter time. It was just a humble hut but its door was never shut, and a man could get inside without a dime. Don't let 'em tear that little brown building down. Don't let 'em tear that precious building down. Don't let 'em tear that dear old building down, for there's not another like it in the country or the town.
Nice. Flip said, got friends in Morgan County who still have / use outhouses
Oh, yeah.
and running water in the house, but no bathroom. And
Right.
Baby said, the brown building I remember best was tilted backwards, and I was 8 months pregnant. I laughed but had no fond feelings for it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And Flip said, I'll bet you didn't. Ivan says he has to go play bridge now. Good show. We'll catch the balance later. Good to have you.
Good deal, Ivan. Best of luck to you and your partner. I hope the
Yes.
cards are with you.
Yes. You could say, may the cards be with you, like may the force.
Yeah, that's right.
May the cards.
That's right. You could.
Flip said, nice to see you, Ivan. And a smile.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a member of the Autoharp Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure he's won the Autoharp Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
He used to be a representative for Oscar Schmidt. Ivan's been everywhere and done everything. He even played a duet or two with Jethro Burns of Homer and Jethro fame.
He did.
Yeah, but Jethro wouldn't let him lead. Well, a lot of people think auto harps are just toys.
Yeah, they don't realize what you can do with one.
Oh well.
Doesn't
This
Betty
harp.
said LOL.
Yeah, this harp is.
It's still hard to get that upper range with those picks. I mean, it's lots better. But amazing.
Thank you, Robert.
Exclamation points after both comments, and I'm there too. That was good.
I played that in the contest.
But you played a different harp. You weren't playing the.
Yeah, I won the contest.
Amber said, "Love it."
I knew you'd like it, Amber. I won the contest with a stock Oscar Schmidt. It was an older one, but it was stock. There wasn't anything done to it. It was set up the way it came from the factory, and all. I was just happy to be in the contest and to get 2 songs on the CD that they make, and that's honestly all I expected to do. And I played. Once I built a railroad and that dueling Autoharps thing in the first round, and I made it to the second round. And I said to my brother Dan, I said, well, now we got 4 songs. And somebody, I think Bill Gregg, played a song in the second round that was really good. I think he wound up taking second, I believe. And I told Dan I'm going to have to play Foggy Mountain Breakdown if I have any chance. And I did, and I went back there, and they said, who was contestant number 3 in round 2? And it was me, and they said, pick your harp out.
You won.
And I won the thing, which is one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
Ziggy said, dueling harp, -- great, 3 exclamation points. And Flip said, nicely done, practice a bit. And Amber said, I was going to request it for your request show, haha.
Well, I wish you had.
Bob said, well done, George.
Thanks, Bob.
And let's see, then Pat said, great stuff, George, very good. And then Flip said, request anyway, Amber. And
Yeah, we can play it again.
Pat's
Just
showing an applauding.
yeah, okay. We'll add that to the list of requests.
Yes.
I may switch harps when I play that. I wish I could figure out a way to have a harp easily accessible.
Well, you can switch them back.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'm going to have to get somebody to tell me because I've not really asked. But Ivan's got the ability to switch
He
harps.
has harp stands, I think, like guitar. Maybe. I
Okay.
think he does. But I know people use stands for their guitars. There's probably stands that you could put your auto harp up on. And then you just reach and get that one or put it back and get another.
Yeah, well, I know you and I have watched him, and I never bothered to ask you, so I'll bet that's how he
Pretty
does
sure
it.
that's
Okay. Anyway.
Flip said, build a rack behind you? Question mark.
That would be awkward because this is really close quarters. The table that contains all the audio gear and the laptop that I use and all is right to my left. And there's really no easy way to get an auto harp out from between there without constantly hitting it against the table. And on the other side are microphones that are equally
Yes,
close.
very
There's really not a lot of room here, so we may have to table that. Here
Lynn
is.
could hand it to you, Debbie said. And I was thinking exactly the same thing before I looked. I could hand it to you. Have them over here on a stand. And Flip said, open space on the end of the table. No.
Nope. 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 The table's full.
It looks like there's space.
There isn't because
You are so neat about the way you place things, but there's no room.
there's no room for an auto harp on the table. And I need everything where it is. I could move this keyboard. I'll look into that.
Yeah, there may be
There
enough
might be room if I put
don't
this
know.
keyboard over here because I don't use it
I've
during
certainly got
the show.
room to my right.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, we have to figure it out because you want the ability to switch. I think you do.
Yeah.
And Debbie said bigger space. That's
Well, there's not a lot of room in this room. The table is in the corner, so
Yeah.
we can't move anything that way. And auto harps and
Well, and we're going to stay in
things-
here rather than go to it.
yeah, I don't want to. Well, I don't want to move all this gear into another
Also,
room.
you
This
move it
room,
out of this room, and then you're going to move too close to other.
there's no other room in our house where people coming in and out like and doing things. It would be.
Yeah, it'd be.
This is the best place to do it all. Anyway,
Appreciate the suggestions. and
indeed, we'll see what we can do.
Open right by your elbow is what she's thinking. That open area there, but it does. It looks bigger than it is.
Yeah,
There to your left.
to my left. You're seeing it the other way around, I think. Anyway, here is a song done by the Brookdale Bluegrass Band, and it's called "The Longer You Live." Well, the longer you live, the more people you're gonna see die. And the longer you live, the more tears you're gonna cry. The longer you live, the more you're gonna feel sorrow and pain. So you might as well accept it, or else it might drive you insane. Well, the longer you live, the more people gonna break your heart. And the longer you live, the more your body and mind fall apart. Well, the longer you live, the more likely that you're gonna get hurt. And the longer you live, that's the sooner you'll be under the dirt. Well, the longer you live, the more you see how they've rigged the game. And the longer you live, you see how it always turns out the same. The longer you live, the more you're tempted to give up and give in. But you're better off deciding to fight till the bitter end. Because the longer you live, the more babies you're gonna see born. And the longer you live, the more sunrise and beautiful morn. Another night to gaze in wonder at the heavens above. And the longer you live, the more chances you have to make love. Yeah, the longer you live, the more people you're gonna see die. And the longer you live, the more tears you're gonna cry. And the longer you live, the more you're gonna feel heartache and pain. So you might as well accept it, or else it just might drive you insane. Yeah, you might as well accept it, or else it just might drive you insane. Yeah, you might as well accept it, or else it just might drive you insane.
Oh, wow. Philip said never heard that one before. Really like it.
Yeah, thank you.
And Lois Conklin.
Oh, hello, Lois.
And said that's picking is so amazing. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to see you. I'm glad you could.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
glad you could
welcome,
drop in.
welcome.
Speaking of picking, here's one that was written and recorded by Shel Silverstein and was recorded by a million other people. It's called The Three-Legged Man. Well, now, friends will never guess it, so I really must confess that I just met the sweetest woman of my long dismal life. But a friend of mine said, buddy, just in case your mind is muddy, don't you know that girl you're fooling with is Peg Leg Johnson's wife? And that man is big and tough and mean and grim, and he'll bring you with his artificial limb. But next morning, bright and early, I stole old Peg Leg's girlie, and I also took his wooden leg just to play it safe. But there weren't no time for laughter, 'cause he started hopping after, and I keep on running faster, but he won't give up the chase. And I'm running through the mountains with his bride, and I got his wooden leg here by my side. I'm a three-legged man with a two-legged woman being chased cross-country by a one-legged fool. Oh, he's hopping and he's flopping and he showed no sign of stopping. I tell you, boys, his life is hard and cool. Through the deserts and the valleys and those dark Chicago alleys, cross the mighty Mississippi to the hills of Caroline, across the mountains of Montana, through the swamps of Louisiana. Every time that I look back, he's just one step behind. And I know he must be cold and wet and sick, but in spite of all his troubles, he can kick. I'm a three-legged man with a two-legged woman being chased cross-country by a one-legged fool. Oh, he's hopping and he's flopping and he showed no sign of stopping. I tell you, boys, his life is hard and cool. Now he's ragged and he's filthy, and I'm feeling kind of guilty, especially in the evening when I hear him plead and beg. He says, spite of all your stealing, friend, I'll bear you no hard feelings. You can keep the damned old woman, but please give me back my leg. For although the leg you meant to take was wooden, in the dark by mistake you got my good one. I'm a three-legged man with a two-legged woman being chased cross-country by a one-legged fool. Oh, he's hopping and he's flopping and he shows no sign of stopping. I tell you, boys, this life is hard and cruel.
Whew. Is what you want to say after that. Amber said, you're playing all the ones I was going to request, with crying, laughing face.
That's okay. Request them anyway.
Yes, and
Just-
Pam Kennedy is...
Hello, Pam.
She said, you are as good as ever, George. And there is I think she meant to put a smile face, but it's a character and I don't recognize. But I think she meant...
Yeah, sometimes they don't talk well.
Yeah, and they don't.
Or their description isn't what the thing really is.
This is like a little box with a couple letters, and it's not what it was supposed to be.
I'm glad you came, Pam. Glad you came along.
Welcome.
You and Ruby Rose.
Ah, yes, Ruby Rose.
Okay, let's see here. I had the lyrics for that written down, and I didn't need them. Okay, here's a Shel Silverstein double play for y'all.
Okay.
I first heard it when Doofus played it at the 2019 Mountain Laurel Autoharp Gathering, which I attended virtually. And just, it's one of these songs you just got to learn. It's called The Mermaid of Ontario. Oh, the mermaid of Ontario had a long green stringy hair-o, and a seaweed gown to wear-o, but she had no one to marry-o. Now the mermaid of Ontario loved a big mouth bass named Larry-o, who lived in Lake St. Clair-o, underneath the St. Clair Ferry-o. Now the mermaid of Ontario sent a goldfish emissary-o to ask that big bass Larry-o if he'd consent to marry-o. Oh, no, 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 said Larry-o, my life I will not share-o. I'd rather play solitaire-o and sit around in my underwear-o, read books from the fish library-o. And you're so ordinary-o, and I'm extraordinary-o, and I dress so debonair-o, and I have a fine vocabulary-o, 'cause I memorized the fish's dictionary-o. And before I'd marry you, I'd marry a Guernsey cow from the dairy-o, or eat a poison berry-o, and wind up with fish's dysentery-o. Poor mermaid of Ontario, it was more than she could bear-o, so she cried for a day, then she swam away with a yuppie little guppy named Gary-o. Now they're a happy pair-o, 'cause he's a millionaire-o, on his yacht neath Lake St. Clair-o. They cuddle in a cozy little chair-o and listen to his underwater stereo. And that big mouth bass named Larry-o married a cow from the dairy-o. She fed him a poison berry-o, and he wound up in the fish's cemetery-o. And that's the whole scenario.
That's cute. Pam said, I needed your Autoharp to calm my nerves down, George.
Oh,
For Valentine's, I was given a 6-week-old female German Shepherd puppy.
okay.
Hello, Lin. Oh, I think I'm jealous, though, but we don't have it.
I want one.
I know.
I want one. But I have an Indie.
You have an Indie. Yes, we
Who
don't. We
is-
should not have another dog. We also have Sadie.
Yeah, no, we're not.
The Great Dane.
We're not taking on another dog until Dixie passes away, and then probably not even then.
Yeah, well, Dixie's getting up there, too.
Indy and I are doing great.
Oh, I know.
He has matured so much in the last couple of months. He's sticking with me now, even when he's like not in harness. He's not constantly going around picking stuff up and doing all
hardly
those
at all.
puppy things. Yeah, he's.
He doesn't do that stuff.
I don't have to use the infinity collar when we go out to stores or anything anymore. I can just use his martingale.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he's doing great.
We are at 2:54.
All right, we're going to be all right. We always seem to run a little over. But then I played an extra song or
True.
so in there.
And, yeah.
I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey haul. He only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey, wonky donkey, wonky donkey, yeah. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey haul. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey, winky wonky donkey, winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. Yee-haw! He was a honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. Honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. Lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim, and he smelled really, really bad. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. Stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim, and he smelled really, really bad. And that morning, he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. Cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really bad. And that morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. And he was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. Hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Haw. He only had 3 legs and 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelled really bad, and in the morning he got up early and hadn't had any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief, but he was quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. Spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw.
Whoa. Nan has joined us.
Hello, Nan.
She said, hi, sorry to be so late, but good to see you now. Yes.
Better late than never.
Yes.
You can always go back and listen to the rest of it at your leisure. Glad you came by. I'm glad
Just
you're doing
in
better.
time for Wonky Donkey.
Yeah, there you go. That is a hard song
I don't doubt it.
to do.
Well, you did it well. You did it well.
Thank you.
I believe we are at 259 or 258, right in there.
Well, we're going to go over a little bit, but like I said, I added a song because some of these are short. This is a traditional song. The first time I heard it was on an album by the New Christy Minstrels. The New Christy Minstrels in person. It was their second album, 1963. It's called The Rooster Song. We had some chickens, no eggs would they lay. We had some chickens, no eggs would they lay. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We have some chickens, no eggs will they lay. But then a rooster came into our yard. He caught those chickens right off of their guard. They're laying eggs now like they never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a milk cow, no milk would she give. We had a milk cow, no milk would she give. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We have a milk cow, no milk will she give. But then that rooster came into our yard. She caught that milk cow right off of her guard. She's given eggnog like she never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. We had a dog, no pups did she have. We had a dog, no pups did she have. My wife said, honey, we're losing money. We have a dog, no pups does she have. But then that rooster came into our yard. He caught that doggy right off of her guard. She's having bird dogs like she never used to, ever since that rooster came into our yard. My Aunt Matilda, no kids did she have. Uh-oh. My Aunt Matilda, no kids did she have. My wife said, honey, it isn't fun. Poor Aunt Matilda, no kids did she have. But then that rooster came into our yard. Matilda caught him right off of his guard. We had fried rooster, I tell you true, sir, ever since that rooster came into our yard.
There. Flip said, Jenny said she thought it was pretty tough to sing, speaking about the wonky donkey.
Yeah, it is.
And then Bob said, that's another good song, George. And Flip said, yeah, it is, with a smile face. But that was about the wonky donkey.
Everybody likes the wonky
Everybody
donkey.
loves wonky donkey.
I played it at CAG in my, I did a workshop on comedy, and it was like the last full day, and I decided to do it out under a pavilion, but the weather was just a little bit chilly, and I had a couple or three people show up, but they were beginners, and I changed the workshop because they couldn't have played any of the songs that I had outlined, and I showed them more about how to play scales and how to change chords and beginning kind of stuff like that. And then after a while, after a few songs, they said, that's enough. So the rest of the workshop turned into a kind of an impromptu concert, and I played that for that group.
Robert said, you are really pulling the memory strings today. Indeed, I saw the Christie Minstrels sing this, early 60s, but the song concept was taught to me with a simple chorus that my dad sung to me in 1949.
Yeah, it goes way back. And yesterday afternoon, I found a bunch more verses to it.
Oh, dear.
But I couldn't incorporate them. I didn't have time.
And Flip said, yeah, occasional jokes on the same story.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
okay. To kind of round this out, let's do one more by Shel Silverstein. Everybody's making it big but me. Elvis, he's a hero, he's a superstar, and I hear that Paul McCartney drives a Rolls-Royce car. Dylan sings for millions, I just sing for free. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Neil Diamond sings for diamonds, and here's old rhinestone me. Everybody's making it big but me. I hear that Alice Cooper's got a foxy chick to wipe off his snake and to keep him rich. And Elton John's got 2 fine ladies, and Dr. John's got 3. And I'm still seeing them same old sleezos that I used to see. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. Hell, I got charisma, personality. How come everybody's making it big but me? I paint my face with glitter just like Bowie does. I wear the same mascara that Mick Jagger does. And I even put some lipstick on, but that upset my dad and mom. And everybody's making it big but me. Oh, everybody's making it big but me. Everybody's making it big but me. They all got groupies for their pads, and all I got is my right hand, and everybody's making it big but me.
Ah, yes.
Well, thank you. You all make me feel like a really big star every time you come by and listen to us. We really had a good time today, and we hope you did too.
I have a couple more comments if you
Go
want
ahead.
just a minute.
Yep.
When Flip was saying, yeah, occasional jokes on the same story, she's talking about the rooster.
Yes, I knew
And
that.
I didn't get that. And she said, my favorite was the rooster wore himself out and was lying out on a hill while the buzzards circled. The farmer came up to grieve his dead rooster. Rooster's eyes opened and he said, go away. I'm waiting for
Wait
the
for
buzzards.
the buzzards to land. Yeah, I've heard that. Brewster the rooster.
Yeah, and then Ziggy said, thanks, George and Lynn, for this fun-filled concert. Smile face. I'm looking forward to the recording of the part I missed, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes, indeed. Probably see you this evening, Ziggy.
Yes.
We really appreciate everybody coming by.
Oh, yeah.
And if you could help us out with the airfare to MLAG this June, we'd appreciate it if you could put a little something in our tip jar. It's a PayPal account, autoharp.down.home@gmail.com. And we thank those of you who have contributed to help us. And if you can spare a buck or two, we'd really appreciate it. If not, hope to see you next time on the 11th of March when we will celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Until
Yes.
then, we'll say goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to George and all his kin. We'd sure like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back real soon to this locality to have a heaping helping of our hospitality. Home style, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now, here.